Hello again. I'm back. This is attempt at video number 3, number 2. So I just did another one. I tried to upload it. I was a little bit long-winded. I'm still new to YouTube, so I found out that if it goes over 15 minutes, they'll kick it back to me. They're not going to let me upload over 15 minutes. I'm just not important enough yet. So I'm going to have to try to talk a little bit faster, try to not get too in the weeds about anything, but hopefully you guys enjoy it. Back, I got the Venom shirt again. I'm still waiting. I know that I'm going to get some more stuff, but right now we're just focusing on comic books, and I'm sure everything else will follow. So I got a couple of updates from the last video. I have, I'm going to say 6.5 new books. One is just a half because it's not mine. I found it and I'm going to gift it to someone I'm really excited about. My grandfather, I talk to him kind of regularly, and it's never come up before, but I explained to him what my son and I are doing. I told him that we were starting to collect comic books and really getting interested in that. And he was really excited to share with me about some comic books that he used to read when he was younger. It was something that I had never heard of before. It was pretty old, and I was really excited to share that with him, or to have him share that with me, and to have a goal, to have something to go out and specifically want to look for. So I went to one of my favorite bookstores. I asked the gentleman there, the shop owner, if he had it. He took kind of a deep breath, had to think a little bit, and he said, "Yeah, I do have some." And then he just sort of looked at me, and after a pause, I said, "Well, can I see some? What do I got to do? Like, where are they? What's the deal?" And because of what it was, he didn't have anything on the floor. He had to go back into the back of the store, find an old dusty box and brush it off and pull it out to try to find something for me. He found it. I was really excited. This is what he found. It's Roy Rogers comic book. All right. Now, I haven't looked at it a whole lot. Somebody actually wrote in pen on here 1950, so I'm going to assume that's about when it was. But it's in a pretty bad deteriorated condition, which is totally fine with me. I saw in the comments that someone had mentioned, not to get so hung up on the monetary value of these books. We really do this just because it's something that we enjoy, and that's exactly why I got it. I'm just happy to have it in my possession, and then to be able to gift it to my grandfather, who hasn't seen any of these in probably 60 years. I know that he's really going to appreciate it, and I'm really happy about that. So this is just a half of a book, because this is getting mailed out probably tomorrow, and because of the condition and because it was such an obscure comic book to even ask for, the shop owner actually gave it to me. He just said, "You can have it." I think that he saw that it was in a pretty bad state and nobody else was ever going to be looking for it. So he said, "You can just have that," especially after I told him that it was going to be a Christmas gift. So that's one that I'm really happy about. I got a couple more, as everybody knows, as I've said previously in my other videos. I'm going out and doing this with my 4-year-old son. It's something that we really get to bond over. So we have a couple of stores that we've been going to. The one store is primarily all just new stuff. So that's really where my son sort of shines. And we spent probably 20 or 30 minutes looking around, just finding something that he would be interested in, something that I felt was appropriate. And we found Spider-Man Homeroom Heroes. It's another kid-focused comic book. We haven't read it yet, but I'm positive that he's really going to be happy with it and enjoy it. Again, he picked it out. The other one is our second Spider-Boy. Spider-Boy, pretty cool. It's a pretty interesting storyline. We haven't gotten into it yet, but it's something for him. I know he's going to be happy with it. Now, I am starting to branch out from Venom. I said in other videos, in my previous videos, that I was really trying to just collect Venom. But I realized after I was able to get that first complete set how easy that might be. And it was a little bit disappointing. I wanted to try to find something a little bit more unusual, something that isn't quite so mainstream, maybe something that they haven't put out in a while. And I landed on the Punisher. Punisher, I know, isn't incredibly obscure or anything, but it's not Spider-Man. Nothing against Spider-Man or Superman or Batman, any of those guys, but they're pretty mainstream. It's talked about pretty often, and that's just not really the wheelhouse that I want to find myself in. So I started looking for the Punisher. Now, I went to a big box store and started looking through their dollar issues, and I found a bunch. And most of the ones that I found were relatively new, and I realized that the new stuff just doesn't interest me quite as much as the old. So I think at this point I'm really looking for myself anything probably pre-95 and older. I did find a couple, and I was looking through just trying to find one that sparked my interest, and I found this one. This is the Punisher War Journal Suicide Run. I just thought it was interesting. I liked the graphics on it. It's a holographic cover. I thought it was really neat. So I thought it might be something valuable because of the holographic cover. I got kind of excited, and maybe it just slipped through the cracks. Maybe they don't pay attention to those the boxes of issues as much as some of the smaller stores would. So I looked it up. I looked it up really quick, and I got really excited. I found that it was listed online for like $120 or $130. So I couldn't believe it. I was very excited. It was only $2. So I said, you know what? I'm going to get this. And even if I'm wrong, that's okay. I get something else to add to my collection, but it's going to be a much easier sell to my wife when I can tell her I found a $100 bill basically just sitting in here. So I took it. I looked again, and I realized I'm pretty sure that I just made a rookie mistake. So anyone who doesn't know, one of the things that a lot of comic book collectors swear by in terms of value is eBay, actually. I haven't really used eBay in years, but everyone says to go on eBay, see if you can find those issues, and then see what people are paying for them. And that's going to be your best gauge in terms of the value. Now, there's one important detail that you need to remember when looking for that. You need to look for sold items only. Someone could list something on eBay and ask for $1,000, but if no one's willing to pay for it, then it's not worth $1,000. Well, that was exactly what I did. I looked up, somebody was asking for $130 for this, but it's not worth that. When I looked for the sold items, they were selling for $5, $6, $7. So not a money maker. I'm not ready for retirement yet, but it's still cool. It's still fun. I'm glad I have it. And I'm gonna lean a little bit more into the Punisher. I think this War Journal is pretty neat. I want to see if I can find some more of those. But I just take it on the chin. Now, when I went back to the same store that I got the Roy Rogers from, I was looking around for some more Punisher, and I found a couple that are just seem to be kind of relatively regular issues, but they looked interesting to me, so I was happy with them. Now, I found this one. This is the Punisher #1 Warzone. This one, it looks pretty cool. The graphics are pretty neat. I don't know much about it, but we'll see. We'll see where it goes. And now, I was looking through, and I did find this one. So this is the Punisher Biker Bloodbath. This right here. Now, there was 2 issues actually in the box that were the exact same. But I saw that this one was listed for, I think, $2 more than the other one, and I knew something had to be going on. And I do know, I have learned since starting, the biggest difference in comic book collecting oftentimes is whether it's a direct edition or newsstand edition. So I figured this must be newsstand, and it is. There's no barcode there. From my understanding, if a book either doesn't have a barcode on it or it has a slash through the barcode, that means that it is a newsstand edition. Newsstand editions are more valuable just because there's not really any of them left. You know, those traditional New York City style newsstands, they don't really exist outside of just a handful of really major cities. So got this one, got my first newsstand edition. I'm kind of curious if anybody could fill me in, maybe anybody knows. I think maybe this is a newsstand edition because there's no barcode on it, but there's no any markings on it. So I'm not sure what exactly that means. I was looking to talk to the store owner about that Roy Rogers I mentioned. He was talking to another customer, and not to be rude, I decided to just look around. I'll just look through some of these random boxes and see what I find, you know, while I'm waiting, rather than standing there making everybody uncomfortable. So I started looking through, and I found something. One of the things that I'm most excited about since I've started this, I didn't even know that this was a thing. But this is definitely my favorite superhero. Since I was a kid, some of my earliest memories were with the superhero. I looked, there weren't a lot, but I found Captain Planet and the Planeteers. All right, if anybody remembers from late 80s, early 90s, Captain Planet was the man. I submitted, I'm an official Planeteer. I got the certificate and the badge and the whole 9 yards. From my research, I think that there's only 12 issues of a Captain Planet magazine. I'm definitely going to be looking to see if I can find more of these. If anybody has any insight or, you know, just information about this series, I would really appreciate it. Until then, I will be back to check in another week or two. We got Christmas coming up. I did go do some Christmas shopping today. I got some stuff for my son, but I think it's really for me more than him. So I'm excited to share that stuff with you guys once we can get it unwrapped and out in the open. But until then, just let me know if you guys have any advice, tips, or tricks. I'd really appreciate it. The subscribers, thank you so much for subscribing. The like button, I really appreciate all the likes that I've gotten. Those comments, they are very helpful. I am reading all of them. I haven't gotten a whole lot yet, but I'm going to keep pushing. And hopefully this brings some joy to somebody else. Thank you.